Okay, today we're going to be ranking every single main event that I have watched since becoming like a UFC stan. So I'd seen fights before this, but 249 is really the fight card that turned my fandom into addiction. Justin Gaethje, Tony Ferguson is numero uno for that. When I saw that card, I turned into a UFC addict. I've pretty much watched every single card start to finish since then. So that being said, because of I guess what it means to me, I guess how it changed my perspective on the sport, Ferguson Gaethje has got to be in my holy shit moment. First of all, fantastic fight. Justin Gaethje, Tony Ferguson, Khabib falls out, Gaethje steps in, it's for an interim belt, and then Gaethje just boxes the brakes off of Tony, who was on like a 13-fight win streak, looked unstoppable. That's my holy shit. Here's the tiers. Holy shit is going to be for moments that made you say holy shit. Great's going to be a great fight. Good is just going to be, good. Average is average. And then DNS is did not see. So there's a couple of them, including number 2. I did not see Nunes versus Spencer. But that being said, that's probably about where it belongs. No disrespect. Usman Masvidal. This is the first fight on Fight Island, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to put it into good. The way I'm kind of grading this is it's going to go based off of kind of my emotions when I hear that fight card. Like, how do I feel about that? It was good. Once we get into 2, that'll justify that ranking a little bit more because Masvidal-Usman is a great rivalry, but that is just okay. For Miocic Cormier 3, I'm going to put that in good. I thought great for a second. This is Daniel Cormier's retirement fight. Sugar Sean I was actually at a beat-ups watching this card. I remember it vividly. Sugar Sean O'Malley was on this card. This is his loss to Chito Vera originally. I'm going to just set it in good. It was a good fight, competitive. A lot of eye pokes in the main event. Weird. It was kind of a weird fight. That being said, Adesanya Acosta, I remember vividly being in that Buffalo Wild Wings and then seeing the promo for this fight. At the time, Adesanya undefeated, Costa undefeated. Costa just got done boxing out, God, I'm blanking on his name, Yoel Romero. I was hyped for this card, and there was so much gamesmanship in the build-up to this, too. They're in Fight Island. Izzy and Costa are talking shit to each other. They're bringing out white belts. Costa's drunk. Izzy ends up knocking him out. Great fight. Khabib Gaethje. From a competitive standpoint, I'm going to leave that in good. That's Khabib's retirement fight. I'm going to leave it in good. It was a great performance by Khabib, but it hurts that he retired there, doesn't it, a little bit? So I'm just going to leave that one in good. Perez and Figueiredo, didn't watch. Figueiredo Moreno. We're going to drop that into the grade as well. If you haven't watched Figgy and Moreno's first fight in the Apex, middle of pandemic, absolute banger here. I mean, these guys just went to war for 5 rounds. That's what set up the trilogy. Incredible fight. Poirier McGregor 2. Holy shit, right? Isn't that a holy shit moment? Holy shit. First of all, we're in Abu Dhabi. Fight week leading up to it, I just remember Conor's in like a yacht off the coast, and he comes in, he's being nice. Wild turn of events for a Conor McGregor fight, and then Dustin Poirier goes out and knocks him out. Holy shit. That is definition holy shit fight card. Usman Burns, we're going to put on average. Good fight, but I don't feel, it doesn't really bring a lot of emotions out of me. Good fight. Burns had his moments. Usman ended up knocking him out. And I think the 3rd or maybe 4th round. Following that, we had Izzy going up to 205 facing Blachowicz. How do I feel about that? We're going to leave that in. I'm going to put that into average. Dare to be great. Izzy Adesanya tries to go up to 205, but the fight itself was just kind of so-so. If Izzy had won that, I'd probably feel a little bit higher about it. That's my own bias, but following that, holy shit. Francis Ngannou, Stipe Miocic, one of the nastiest knockouts you'll ever see. This fight in the Apex where you could hear everything, see everything. God, holy shit. Francis Ngannou turned into, he was already like, don't want to fuck with this guy, but after he knocks out Stipe, this was Dana in the press conference going, if John Jones sees this, I'm sure he's reconsidering jumping up to heavyweight. Francis Ngannou, holy shit. Now, this is why I put Usman Masvidal 1 at good, because Usman Masvidal 2, first fight back in a crowd, Jacksonville. First of all, you get Rose Namajunas head kicking Zhang Weili right before it. Holy shit already. And then Usman knocks out Masvidal in the first round. Couple extra punches, totally necessary. Holy shit, that is one of the greatest atmosphere. Just having the atmosphere of live people back, and then those two fights being at the top of it, guaranteed holy shit in my book. Oliveira Chandler, we're going to put that into great. Oliveira wins the belt. Let's be honest, Charles Oliveira, if you were watching during this time of the UFC, this is one of the most electric title runs in my fandom. I was the biggest, I'm still a Chuck fan, but I was the biggest Charles Oliveira fan when he was running the belt. Great fight though. And then we got Adesanya and Vettori. We're going to put that at average. Adesanya 50-45, just because the fight itself wasn't that competitive. We're just going to leave it at average. Poirier McGregor 3. Whoa, whoa, whoa. McGregor breaks his leg. I was live at this event. This was the first UFC event I ever went to. I paid for a Conor McGregor fight. I'm so happy that I had the honor to see him fight. But also, he broke his fucking leg and it kind of sucked. So I'm going to leave it at good. I'm going to leave it at good just because of the outcome. But it was still wild. It was still wild being there in person, watching the walkout. Incredible. And then after the fight, breaks his leg. Then he's on the ground talking shit to Dustin. Joe's got his arm around him. They're laying on the ground. He's talking shit to his wife. The whole shebang. We're going to put that at good. But God, I wish he didn't break his leg. That did kind of suck. Lewis Gane, we're in Houston. Derek Lewis homecoming gets knocked out. No bueno. Put that at average. Ortega and Volkanovski, that's got to go into great. I mean, that fight was incredible. I mean, Volk was very dominant, but Ortega had some moments where this is almost a holy shit. If Ortega cinched up one of those submissions, that was very close to a holy shit. Ortega comes out in the purge mask, fantastic. Following that, Blachowicz and Teixeira. How do I feel about Blachowicz Teixeira? I'm going to put that in average. Pretty quick fight. Glover wins the belt. Good for him, but I don't really have a lot of emotions towards that one. Usman Covington 2. We're going to drop into good. Good fight. Good fight. I think the buildup was a little bit, and the fight delivered, but I think when you get these giant buildups like Colby does, you kind of, like, I don't really remember that fight all that well just thinking about it. So that kind of it dropped it down a couple levels. I'm going to leave that one at good. Oliveira Poirier, we're going to drop that into good as well. Only because it wasn't super, super competitive. Oliveira kind of handled Poirier. I'm not going to say easily, but handily in that fight. Champ. Looks like we got Francis Ngannou, Cyril Gane. I didn't watch that fight. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to put that in DNS. I think, knowing what happened, I think it'd probably be into average. It was for a heavyweight fight. I think Francis tore his ACL. It was a lot of wrestling, but I'll be honest, I didn't watch that. Adesanya Whitaker 2. Put that in a good fight. It was a competitive fight, but nothing really jumps off the page to me. Covington Masvidal. This one should be holy shit, but I'm going to drop it into average. I mean, that was as bad a Bad Bloods gets, but the fight itself was just kind of so-so. Korean Zombie Volkanovski. We're going to drop this into good just because of how dominant Volkanovski looked against the Korean Zombie. This is kind of really the start of the reign of the untouchable era for Volkanovski. Comes out, first of all, he wades his way through Max Holloway. The third fight especially really kind of put him on a pedestal. Then he comes out after a tough season, looks great against Ortega, gets through some really deep submissions, and then he certifiably dominates Korean Zombie to the point where while they were still standing, they're like, hey, we should probably cut this fight. So great fight. Oliveira Gaethje. This one I'm going to put into great. Of the three, I mean, I put this probably on about the same level as the Oliveira Chandler. I mean, just wild. The Oliveira reign was just so wild because every single one of them, including Poirier, knocked him down. But that didn't matter. It didn't fucking matter because nobody wanted to go to the ground with him. And then he ends up banging out Justin Gaethje, drops him, and then submits him. Great fight. Okay, then we got Yuri, and this is going to go into holy shit. This is Teixeira Yuri Prochazka. One of the best fights of all time. I'm pretty sure it won Fight of the Year. Fantastic 5-rounder, a bloodbath. Teixeira's winning, and then Yuri comes back and submits him in like the final 20 seconds. Holy shit, that was a great fight. Adesanya Cannonier, we're going to drop into average. I don't really remember a lot of that fight other than Izzy won. I don't really remember. Amanda Nunes and the woman that's fighting this weekend, Juliana Pena. We're going to put that into holy shit because holy shit, Juliana Pena just beat Amanda Nunes. That is definition of a holy shit moment. Amanda Nunes, before that fight and since this fight, has looked untouchable. Juliana Pena had her night and had her number, and wow, great fight. That was, the ripples of that are still playing out. Juliana fighting for the belt again today, or this weekend. Usman Edwards 2. Back-to-back holy shits, because holy shit, head kick, headshot dead. Leon Edwards out of the fire. Holy shit. That's probably the biggest holy shit on this card so far. Just because it was so unexpected. Leon's getting worked. 5th round. Comes out. Lands a head kick. Puts Usman's lights out. And Usman was on an absolute tear. Holy shit. Diaz-Ferguson. This fight itself is not like great. But I'm going to put that into great just because of how wild that card was. If you remember, Diaz-Ferguson was like a last-minute replacement. Holland and I think Diaz was supposed to fight Chimaev. Holland was supposed to fight Ferguson, or maybe it was the other way around. But either way, this fight week was literally chaos. They're all fighting in the back. Hamzat misses weight. The whole card switches up. Wild one. Great fights. Oliveira and Makhachev. We're going to drop that into great. Islam wins the belt. I'm sad. This one makes me sad a little bit because I was riding Charles Oliveira so hard. It makes me sad, but great fight. Shout out to Islam. And then one of the greatest rivalries of all time, Israel Adesanya, Alex Poatan Pereira. He's fighting this weekend again too. Jacked for that. But this is going to go into great because this is Poatan winning his belt. Shocking the world. The build-up to this fight, too, they had fought a couple times before. Incredible. And we're going to have a holy shit moment with those two later. But that one's going to sit in the great spot because that is one of the all-time rivalries. Blachowicz and Ankalaev. Weird card. This was supposed to be... We're going to drop that into average. This was supposed to be... Who was supposed to fight on this card? It was supposed to be Yuri Prochazka and Teixeira 2. Yuri breaks his shoulder. Teixeira gets dropped off the card. Blachowicz and Ankalaev end up fighting for an interim belt. Or no, the vacant belt. They ended up fighting for the vacant belt. Go to a split draw. The whole thing gets fucked up. Weird. Weird card. Weird card. I'm going to drop it into average because this card's coming next. I'm going to drop this into great. Teixeira gets dropped out of that last card, ends up fighting Jamal Hill because there is no title. There is no 205 champion. Teixeira ends up fighting Jamal Hill in Brazil. Jamal Hill looks fantastic. This is Tajer's retirement fight. Kind of sucked that he got boxed up, especially in his home country. But Jamal Hill looked fantastic in that fight. Makhachev Volkanovski, holy shit. This is probably the first holy shit here without a finish, but let's be honest. Makhachev won one of the best fights of all time. The underdog Volkanovski moving up weight to fight Islam Makhachev and looked so fucking good. People still debate who won that fight. Jones versus Gane. I'm going to put that into, yeah. I don't know if I want to drop. My problem, my hold off from dropping this into holy shit. John Jones looked fantastic, but it wasn't Francis Ngannou, and that's kind of holding me back a little bit. Not that Cyril's bad, but he's not Francis Ngannou. So I'm going to just drop that into great, but fantastic performance. John Jones moves up to heavyweight and walks through Cyril Gane. Edwards 3, we're going to drop this into average. Leon just kind of outworks Usman for 5 rounds. I don't have super strong feelings about that card. Adesanya Pira 2, holy shit. One of my favorite moments in the world, in my time, like really consuming UFC, was Adesanya getting that knockout. That's definition holy shit moment. The celebration, firing off the arrows, everything involved in that. There's a reason Israel Adesanya is a star, and it was because of that moment right there. Not because of that moment, but I mean, that is cinema. Sterling and Cejudo, we're going to drop that into average. I don't have super strong feelings about this card. Sterling looked good. Good fight. I'm going to put that into good. It was a good fight. But I don't really have super strong feelings one way or another on that. Nunes Aldana, we'll put that at good just because it was a Nunes. First of all, how dominant Nunes looked. And it was a retirement fight. We're just going to drop that into good. Volk and Yair Rodriguez. I feel average towards that. I feel like the average, maybe average is the wrong word for these. It should be like, I just feel so-so about it, you know? I kind of expected Volk to beat Yair. Yair has a lot of skills, but Volk at this time, coming off the Makhachev fight, Volk just felt untouchable. Poirier Gaethje 3, holy shit. Holy shit. For the BMF head kick, Justin Gaethje, holy shit. Holy shit. Followed by Sterling O'Malley, another holy shit. O'Malley wins the belt, knocks out Aljamain Sterling in Boston. Fantastic moment for the boy. Holy shit. First knockout to be posted on socials. I mean, big fucking moment. Adesanya Strickland. I hate this fight. I'm going to put it into great just because how shocking it was what Strickland did to Adesanya that night. I mean, 50-45 if I'm not mistaken. Strickland just had his number and had the big knockdown in the first, never looked back. Great fight by Strickland. Makhachev Volkanovski 2. Do we say... I'm going to put that at great just because I don't think that moment is quite as special as the first one. Special moment. This is my own bias too. I'm playing my bias in here because I love Volkanovski so much and I was rooting for him. But if we're comparing the two fights, Islam with a head kick, knocking him out, but it was short notice. Like, I'm going to just put that at great. I can't give it my holy shit. Let's see. Then we have Pereira Prohaska 1. I'm going to drop that at good. Pereira wins his second belt. Pretty special moment, but there's a second one. So that's kind of why that one's sitting just there. Edwards Covington. I got the same feeling towards this as the first, just average. I feel so-so about that fight. Not super there's nothing in my mind that really makes me think back and go, oh, that was a crazy moment. Strickland du Plessis, I'll put this at great. It was a good fight. It was a fantastic fight. Good 5-rounder, tough back and forth. That was a fantastic fight. Volkanovski Topuria, holy shit. Mr. Untouchable no longer. Topuria, holy shit. Put his lights out, scary fashion. Ilia Topuria wins the belt, is now a certified superstar. O'Malley Vera 2, we're going to put this at, I have an affinity for Sean O'Malley. It's going into great. It's a great performance. I'll put that at good, just because it wasn't so competitive. But O'Malley boxes the brakes off of Chito Vera. UFC 300. This is, great. Forget about it. It's great. One of two reasons. First of all, Max Holloway, Justin Gaethje. Holy shit. Followed by Pereira, Jamal Hill. Holy shit. Fantastic. For as much criticism as this card got in the lead up, the payoff, undeniable. Undeniable. A fantastic fight card. 2 moments. And also the last second KO by Holloway. Fantastic. Pantoja Urseg. Pantoja Urseg. That's a good fight. I'm going to put that at good. That's a good fight. As competitive as a title fight with Pantoja has been, and from my memory, it was a good fight. Makhachev Poirier, that's going into great. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, Dustin Poirier, heart of a lion, gives it to Islam Makhachev when, first of all, he's coming off the Benoit Saint Denis knockout. I mean, and then comes in and gives Makhachev an absolute run for his money. Great fight. Pereira Prohaska too. That's holy shit. The head kick, disgusting. Alex Pereira officially cements himself as, not that he wasn't already the 205 champ, but I think, no, I don't even know what I can say about it. He's just so fucking scary. This makes me, this fight terrified me. This fight terrified me for any future oncomers of Alex Pereira, who, by the way, is fighting this weekend against Khalil Roundtree. You can't pick against Alex Pereira. Holy shit. Edwards Muhammad. Sorry. We're going to put that in good. Bilal wins the belt. Remember the name. Du Plessis Adesanya. I'm going to put that in great because of how big that buildup was. I mean, weird buildup, but big buildup. Their first face-off, not in the cage, but their first face-off at the press conference in Australia, like the pre-press conference, was like 9 minutes long. There was so much bad blood. Adesanya's looking good, kind of returned to form. You didn't know how he was going to look after the Strickland loss. And then Dricus du Plessis comes out and finishes him late. So, holy shit. And then Noche UFC. We're going to put that into good. Noche UFC, Merab wins the belt, but the 2 title fights were kind of, the actual event itself was fantastic, but the 2 title fights both went to decision, were both kind of slow, so that just goes into good. That's my list. Tell me what you think. Did I miss anything? Did I misplace something? Am I really overlooking any fights? Tell me what you think. And also, I want to know what fight, like Ferguson Gaethje introduced me to the, I'm not going to say introduced me because I had seen UFC fights before, but this was the fight that turned me into an addict. So tell me what fight card was that for you? Am I casual? 249 to 306. Am I casual? Let me know what you think.